Script, approx 160 words. What if I told you that a single paper-thin slice of ham could be the most coveted culinary treasure in the world? That beneath its velvety texture and delicate marbling lies a saga of genetics, ancient oak forests, and craftsmanship going back centuries. Welcome to AGRI 360X, where we uncover how technology, tradition, and terroir collide. In this episode, we explore the enigmatic journey of Jamon Iberico, Spain's black magic ham, crafted from the noble Iberian black pig. Prepare to be transported to misty mountain villages in Extremadura, sun-drenched Dehesas in Andalusia, and state-of-the-art curing cellars that turn acorns into liquid gold. By the end, you'll understand why Michelin star chefs and gourmands pay upwards of $200 per kilogram for this rare delicacy. If you love discovering stories where farming meets artistry, hit like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to AGRI 360X channel. New episodes drop every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., with weekend specials at noon. Long before Jamon Iberico graced gourmet tables, its progenitor, the Iberian black pig, roamed the oak-studded forests of the Iberian Peninsula. Archaeologists date these pigs' ancestors back over 10,000 years, when wild boars interbred with early domestic stock brought by Neolithic settlers. Over centuries, natural selection favored a unique genetic trait called the retinto negro, or black coat, alongside a special agouti gene that causes intramuscular fat, marbling. Unlike plumper commercial breeds, the Iberian pig stores most of its fat internally. That's why its meat can melt on your tongue like fine butter. Today, accreditation bodies insist on 100% pure Iberian bloodlines, known as Bellota 100% Iberico, for the most prized hams. Hybrid crosses, 50% or 75% Iberian, produce good ham, but only the full-blooded black pigs, raised in ancient acorn forests, can claim the true title of Jamon Iberico de Bellota. Understanding these genetics is essential to appreciating the depth, aroma, and umami that sets Iberico apart. To understand Jamon Iberico, you must first step into the Dehesa, a sprawling, sun-baked savanna of cork and holm oak that covers over 2 million hectares in western Spain and southern Portugal. Each year, roughly 250,000 Iberian pigs are turned loose onto these pasture lands between October and February in a fattening system called montanera. It's here that pigs gorge on acorns, bellotas, at a prodigious rate, up to 6 kilograms of acorns per day, depositing a fatty, nutty flavor into their muscle. This acorn feast not only influences taste, but also shapes Epicurean value. Only pigs permitted at least 8 weeks in a genuine Dehesa qualify as Bellota 100% Iberico. Compare that to lesser grades, Recibo, partial grain feeding, or Cibo, entirely grain-fed, which lack the distinctive acorn-rich fat and can cost up to 50 kilos less. The Dehesa is both farm and forest, a balanced ecosystem where cork oaks, grasslands, and grazing animals coexist in harmony. Script, approx 170 words. In the Dehesa's mosaic of grasses and oaks, raising an Iberian pig is part art, part science. Pigs are typically left outdoors to roam freely over 4 to 6 hectares per animal, building muscle and storing fat internally. During montanera, each pig gains up to 1 kilos of weight per day, ultimately reaching 160–180 kgs by harvest, nearly twice that of a typical commercial pig. Contrast that with factory farm breeds. Landrace or large white pigs might reach 110 kilos in 6 months on concentrated feed, but their fat is external and bland. The Iberian's diet yields an astonishing 8 to 12% intramuscular fat, which becomes the hallmark marbling in Jamon Iberico. Modern farmers attach RFID ear tags to track individual pigs' weight, movement, and health data, ensuring only the finest specimens proceed to the cure. This blend of tradition and precision livestock farming is what makes the final product so transcendently luscious. Script, approx 160 words. When an Iberian pig reaches its ideal weight, usually between January and February, it's time for the most critical transition. Ethical slaughterhouses near Guijuelo and Jabugo in Extremadura ensure minimal stress, using controlled atmosphere stunning before exsanguination. Experts say, happy pigs make better ham, because adrenaline can toughen meat. After the humane harvest, each carcass is graded. Only those with the characteristic dark skin, firm flesh, and correct fat distribution earn the Iberico stamp. The hind legs are separated and labeled individually. A single 180 kilo pig yields about 15 to 18 kilos of retail-ready ham after a 36-48-month aging cycle. Compare that to a standard ham from a commercial breed, which might yield 10 kilos after just 12 months. The time and attention paid here are what justify Jamon Iberico's astronomical retail prices, up to $250 per kilogram at high-end shops. Script: approximately 160 words. Once the hind leg becomes a fresh ham, the first stage is salting, the sine qua non of flavor and preservation. In traditional methods, each ham is hand-rubbed with sea salt from Cadiz or the Bay of Biscay, and laid on wooden racks for 48 to 72 hours per kilogram of weight. That's about 8 to 10 days for a standard 10 kg ham. During this time, salt draws out moisture, concentrates flavors, and creates a preservative environment. Next comes the rest period, post-salting. Usually 30 to 40 days at 2 to 6 degrees C and 80% humidity. Here, subtle enzymatic reactions begin, leveling out saltiness and deepening aroma. Modern curing facilities in Salamanca now use sensors and automated climate controls to maintain perfect conditions. Yet purists argue only the old stone cellars can replicate the nuances of microflora, which create the signature sweet, nutty notes. Script: approx 170 words. After resting, hams move into curing cellars, the heart of Jamon Iberico's alchemy. Historically, these cellars were deep caves carved into mountainsides where natural airflow and temperature variations could nurture ideal microclimates. Today, both traditional caves, e.g. in Jabugo, and cutting-edge bodegas, e.g. in Guijuelo, coexist. In these spaces, hams hang for minimum 36 months, sometimes up to 48 months, swaying gently in mountain breezes. During slow fermentation, beneficial Penicillium nalgiovense and other molds form a thin surface layer, protecting the meat and contributing to the complex aroma. Inside, enzymes break down proteins into amino acids, releasing that signature umami. Compare the result to Italy's prosciutto di Parma, which cures for 12 to 24 months and fetches around $60 per kilogram. A similar weight in Jamon Iberico commands more than $150–200 due to the extended cure, unique genetics, and acorn filter environment. Script: approx 160 words. At last, the moment you've been waiting for, slicing Jamon Iberico. Master cortadores use an ultra-sharp, flexible knife to create translucent slices no thicker than a sheet of paper. Each slice must have perfect fat distribution, white marbling shimmering against deep red meat. One skilled cortador can yield up to 180 slices from a single leg, enough to fill roughly 20 plates for a tasting. Spain consumes over 50,000 tons of Jamon Iberico annually, equivalent to more than 35 million individual servings. Remarkably, Japan is one of the top export markets, where a 100 gin pack can retail for $5,000, about $38. In contrast, an American prosciutto tasting or Parma ham plate might cost $15 to $20. That price gap reflects not only quality, but also the cultural reverence and rarity of true Bellota 100% Iberico. Script: approx 165 words. Jamon Iberico is more than food. It's a cultural icon woven into Spanish identity. Every autumn, towns like Jabugo and Guijuelo host festivals celebrating the Pata Negra, where locals parade pigs, chefs compete in slicing contests, and visitors taste fresh-cut ham under festive banners. Tourism tied to Iberico soared to $150 million in 2023 for Extremadura alone. Economically, Jamon Iberico has become a $1.2 billion industry in Spain. Small rural cooperatives benefit from protected designation of origin, PDO labels, Jamón de Huelva, Jamón de Guijuelo, Jamón de los Pedroches. This certification guarantees origin, genetics, and production standards. Approximately 75% of total Iberico production is consumed domestically, while 25% is exported to over 80 countries. As global demand surges, some worry about overproduction and genetic dilution, prompting strict breeding controls and sustainability programs to protect the landscape and heritage. Script: approx 165 words. From the ancient acorn foraging pigs of the Dehesa to cutting-edge curing bodegas, Jamon Iberico tells a story of time, place, and expertise. It's a lesson in how tradition and technology can coexist, where 10,000-year-old genetics meet RFID trackers, and medieval caves share space with computerized climate controls. But here's a question to leave you with. If a 48-month cured leg of ham can sell for as much as $250 per kilogram, is it still just food? Or is it a living testament to culture, landscape, and innovation? And as the world evolves, can small farmers preserve this delicate balance between heritage and modernization? Thanks for watching AGRI 360X, your source for behind-the-scenes stories of agriculture, technology, and culinary wonders. If you've been surprised, hit like, share your answer to our question in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives. We publish Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. with weekend specials at noon. See you next time, and stay curious.